Hi guys, you're not watching Advait the Fourth Empire because today I am Advait, the true empire. So today I'm going to be doing a weekend analysis of week 3 IPL analysis. So it's going to be different because the weekend is always fun and I like to be fun during the weekend. No school, no exams, no tension, only fun and no studying and pranking your parents that you're studying but you're actually not studying, okay? So I'm not going to be wearing a blazer or a suit or a tie or whatever it is because I like to be my original self, wearing a shirt and my fake Rolex to flex in front of everyone. So now we have 4 matches played in these 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. In Saturday we had the Clash Royale, Rajasthan Royals versus the Royal Challengers Bangalore. Second match was Delhi Capitals versus Kolkata Knight Riders, Shah Rukh Khan's team versus Delhi Capitals. The Sunday we had 2 amazing matches again, Mumbai Indians versus the Sunrisers Hyderabad, and in the evening we had the Clash of Kings, Chennai Super Kings versus the Kings of Punjab. It's ironic that day 1 we have Clash Royale and day 2 we have Clash of Kings. You understand what I mean, right? The first match of week 3 weekend analysis is between the Clash Royale, not the Supercell game which everybody plays and everybody loves, but it's something which people love the most. The Clash Royale is Rajasthan Royals versus the Royal Challengers Bangalore for the IPL, the Dream 11 IPL 2020. So let's see how this match played off. So in Rajasthan Royals, they didn't have a great start because they lost the early wicket of Steve Smith, later on Sanju Samson and Josh Butler. And the main players who were expected to play good did not play well. Especially I'm shocked about Sanju Samson because it seems like he only plays good in Sharjah. But Lomrar was there and he played the best for the Rajasthan Royals, trying to get the consistency up and make sure they put a good total to defend in the stadium like Sheikh Zayed Cricket Stadium. Lomrar scored 47 runs in 39 balls, which is very consistent because this is his first match in this season. He was playing for Rajasthan in the previous years, but this match was one innings that helped Rajasthan Royals put on a good total to defend. But that's not the case here because I want to talk about Chahal's bowling, 3-wicket haul, and what an amazing bowling by the best Indian bowler, sorry Kuldeep. So Rajasthan's final score was 154 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in 20 overs. The Royal Challengers Bangalore, everything was going well from the start. Even though they lost Finch wicket, the youngster Devdutt Padikkal and his fanboy moment batting with Virat Kohli towards the end. Virat Kohli finally getting back in form, the Indian skipper. After a long time seeing him playing very well. Virat Kohli, I'm very proud of him. And Devdutt Padikkal, the youngster. Usually when youngsters play good and debutants play good, it's amazing. But Devdutt Padikkal is a debutant and a youngster. Both collide, the super player called Devdutt Padikkal. So the team was able to chase up the score in 19.1 overs. Unfortunately, Padikkal lost his wicket later on, but Kohli was there. King Kohli was able to finish the match for RCB. And the final score was 158 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 19.1 overs. So man of the match was Yuzi, India's best bowler in my opinion. Once again, sorry Kuldeep and all the other amazing spinners out there. But Chahal is my favorite and Chahal won the man of the match and he totally deserves it for those 3-wicket haul. Next match is the evening match between Delhi Capitals and KKR. So this match was a great clash because it was in Sharjah, a small ground, and in the past 2 matches, any team that played there scored 200 or 200 plus in their innings, no matter they won or lost. KKR won the toss and chose to bowl first. It's a weird call by Dinesh Karthik because in Sharjah, being a batting friendly pitch, you would want to bat first. So Shreyas Iyer and his boys played amazingly well. First off, the 2 years ago under 19 captain Prithvi Shaw played amazing with Shikhar Dhawan. Shikhar Dhawan unfortunately lost his wicket later on, but Shreyas Iyer, the captain, what a breathtaking innings. Both Prithvi Shaw and Shreyas Iyer were playing amazingly well. Prithvi Shaw scoring 66 runs and 41 balls, striking over 160, a very good batsman. And Shreyas Iyer scoring 88 runs in 38 balls, striking over 200. His strike rate was 231. What an amazing striker of the ball, an amazing player to watch. That's why he's the captain of Delhi Capitals. His and Prithvi Shaw's ending helped Delhi reach an amazing score and a defendable score. Why I say defendable, even though if it's 228, the loss of 4 wickets in 20 overs, is because Sharjah is a different pitch and in its T20 format, anything can happen. KK has the potential to chase this down. So Kolkata Knight Riders also played very well, but not as well as Delhi Capitals. Well, Nitish Rana was putting up a good innings, 58 runs in 35 balls, having a strike rate of 165. Later on, we saw Russell and Karthik come into the mix, but they both could not play. But Eoin Morgan, being the England skipper, one of the best innings in this IPL so far, and my god, striking over 244. That's why he won the striker of the match. And Rahul Tripathi getting his debut for KKR. out of nowhere, unexpectedly, he played very well. Almost won the game for KKR, but unfortunately KKR could not win. KKR had a very good score in the end, 210 runs for the loss of only 8 wickets in 20 overs. Unfortunately, they couldn't win it, but the Shreyas Iyer Delhi Capitals won it and they were very happy. Man of the match was Shreyas Iyer, the skipper, and a brilliant knock from him. His partnership with Prithvi Shaw and Rishabh Pant was amazing. And credit to Rishabh Pant also for helping him to put out in those innings. Shreyas Iyer deserves that award. And that's it for this match. Third match. Match 1 of Sunday afternoon match. Battle of openers. India's opener Rohit Sharma versus Australia's opener David Warner. So David Warner versus Rohit Sharma. Mumbai Indians versus the Sunrisers Hyderabad in Sharjah in an amazing clash. This is the first time a team did not score over 200 runs during their innings. But let's see how Mumbai's innings and Sunrisers' innings ended up and how Mumbai won this match. So in the start, they lost a wicket of Rohit Sharma, which did not affect them because everybody in the team contributed well enough, striking over 130 everyone in the team. But credits to Quinton de Kock for his amazing performance and consistency, striking at 171. His final score was 67 runs in 39 balls, an amazing performance. And towards the end, I was proud to see Hardik Pandya and Kieron Pollard's partnership, the most dangerous duo in Mumbai or in the whole IPL. And what an amazing performance put by them, helping the team reach up a good score. And Krunal Pandya, in the end, my God, hitting those 2 4s and 2 6s to make sure Mumbai reaches the 200 mark and they can put more pressure on Sunrisers during the chase. And their final score was 208 runs to the loss of 5 wickets in 20 overs. What an amazing performance, an expected performance from Mumbai Indians in a pitch like Sharjah. So now let's go to the Sunrisers innings. So David Warner was able to play extremely well. The opening power play partnership between him and Johnny Bairstow was good enough until a level, but until Johnny Bairstow got out. But David Warner took his time and played amazingly well. But later on, the players contributed and went off. But none of the players were able to convert the score to a higher score like David Warner did. And David Warner finally got a 50 in this IPL. In his 5th match, he finally got one. And this was an amazing performance by David Warner. Unfortunately, everyone else was not able to exquisite and display the performance. David Warner's final score, 60 runs in 44 balls and striking very good at 136. But Sunrisers unfortunately lost the match because they lost wickets towards the end and they couldn't help. The final score was 174 runs with a loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs. Credit to the Mumbai bowlers, Bumrah, Pattinson and Bolt, each of them getting 2 wickets each. So man of the match is Trent Bolt, conceding only 28 runs in a stadium like Sharjah against explosive batsmen from the Sunrisers Hyderabad, getting those 2 wickets, which is very good performance. I know we all expected Quinton de Kock. I personally expected Quinton de Kock to receive this award, but still, Bolt also deserved it too. And due to his brilliant performance, it's amazing to see him bowl in the T20 format. So that's it for this match. The final match of this weekend Dhamaka is between the Chennai Super Kings and the Kings of Punjab, the Clash of Kings. On day 1, we have Clash of Royals. On day 2, Clash of Kings. Mahendra Singh Dhoni versus KL Rahul, both smart captains. KL Rahul and the men started off the innings with the bat, and the opening partnership in the power play was very crucial and very consistent for Kings of Punjab between Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul. Unfortunately, Mayank lost his wicket and we have cameos of different players coming and going, and KL Rahul still on the pitch. KL Rahul had an amazing and a brilliant half century, 63 runs in 52 balls, striking at 120 and plus. Nicholas Puran, one cameo which was amazing to watch because of his strike rate of 194, 3 sixes, an amazing player and one of the best players in the T20 format. Kings of Punjab expected a 200 score, which is very much defendable in a pitch like Dubai, but they still got a very good defendable score, which was 178 runs with a loss of 4 wickets in Dubai International Cricket Stadium. Chennai Super Kings, not much to talk about this innings because there was very less happening on. Just 2 batsmen, Shane Watson and Faf du Plessis. Both these batsmen staying in the power play, staying in the middle order, and making sure that the death overs were done in a jiffy. Shane Watson scoring 83 runs in 53 balls, and Faf du Plessis scoring 87 runs, 53 balls. Both these batsmen finishing off the match without anyone else coming inside and playing for the team. And it was an amazing performance, an amazing match to watch. And man of the match in the end was Shane Watson. It could have gone to Faf du Plessis or Shane Watson. In the end, it went to Shane Watson, and he also deserves it. Anyone deserves this award. So yeah, CSK versus Kings of Punjab. The Clash of Kings is done with. And that's it for this weekend analysis. So the final points table of week 3, the weekend after the 4 matches, is this. Mumbai Indians on the top of the table, winning 3, losing 2, getting 6 points in the table. DC playing 4 matches, winning 3, losing 1, getting 6 points again. Same like RCB, playing 4, winning 3, losing 1, getting 6 points. KKR playing 4, losing 2, winning 2, getting 4 points on the table. Rajasthan Royals winning 2, losing 2, playing 4, getting 4 points on the tables. CSK playing 5, finally got one more win. They're not last this time, being 6th on the table, winning 2, losing 3, getting 4 points. And Sunrisers being 7th on the table, playing 5, winning 2, losing 3, getting 4 points. Last but not least, Kings XI Punjab losing 4, winning 1 in 5 matches. And the only team which has 2 points. They need to play better in their upcoming matches. So that's it for this week. And this is Dhamaka week. And an amazing effort by me. I don't know why I'm congratulating myself, because I'm not wearing a blazer for the first time and flexing my fake Rolex. But it's just the vibe right now. So thank you guys for watching my video. I had an amazing time being Advait, the true Empire, not Advait, the fourth Empire. But for the ending, I'm going to say Advait, the fourth Empire, don't worry. So please like this video, share this video with all your friends, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell icon. Follow me on Instagram. The link will be in the description down below. And that's it from me, Advait, the fourth Empire.